Hey guys, it's your boy Pat. Welcome back to the next episode of the Hollow Down Cigar Lounge podcast. As you see, we got first time on the show guest, homeboy Justin. Say what's up, man.
What's up, guys?
So, first time getting him on a show. So you will learn why in just a moment. But like Chad likes to remind me, it's a cigar show, so we got to smoke a damn cigar.
Hell yeah.
So, what we're going to do is light up this puppy. You know what? I never get to do this in the freaking shop. We're outside with the sun, so this might actually show up. So we're going to test this theory.
There you go.
So, this is the Partagas. I've heard both. Cifuentes Maduro. I say both because I'm not going to make the assumption that I'm right or wrong. I can spell it to you, though.
There's so many different people that say it different ways.
There is. So, one for you, one for me. This is Toro's size. It's more of a thicker Toro, if I'm not mistaken. I think this was 6x54. It's either 52 or 54. Those two are real close in person if you don't have them.
Yeah, I think I saw it was 54x6.
I think so, too. So, you're going to understand why in a minute, but we are sitting right in front of Cigar's International Superstore. Should be able to see that behind us a little bit. In Fort Worth, Texas. Come back to that in a minute. But kind of works out because what we always do is read the notes that's on their website. Not sponsored, it just gives us some sort of continuity every show.
Right.
I think there's been one or two that we can't. So, already got the notes written instead of reading off my phone this time. So this is supposed to be a 4.5 on strength, so a medium to full. The wrapper, if you're able to see that, is super dark. It's a dark Connecticut Havana Media Tiempo wrapper. Not something you see very often. Dominican long fillers all the way. And the four notes that they say we should feel and taste is espresso, some spices, a little woodiness, and some sweet cream. So
that's what I read too.
As we like to do is tell you what the professionals say, and then on the homeboy level, we're going to see if we actually agree with it or not.
Let's do this.
So, first things first, cut and light, because what good is a cigar show without cutting and lighting a damn cigar? That's right. So, I got a V cut on mine.
Oh,
Straight cut.
Straight cut. Already working out with some problems.
Uh-oh. It does happen. They are man-made. Got a little chapstick if you need it, unless it'll hold up.
We'll see what happens.
All right. So, I have a great cap. He has a loose cap, so we're already 1 for 2 here. So, things happen. Toast them up a little bit. We are in the center of a 95-degree sun, so
It's hot.
torching is not a problem.
Today was a bad day to wear pants.
Almost gotta be careful not to over-torch it.
Right? It's hard to see the flame when you're in direct sunlight.
It's like that between these sunglasses because the sun is right there.
Yeah.
I can't see my flame whatsoever. What I can see is my lovely wife Ellen over here making faces at me, as she normally does. And Chad, Justin asked her the same thing you did if she wanted to come on camera, and her answer was no. So that ain't gonna happen. Ooh, we gonna see some beaded sweat today, boys. But that's okay, because we're still out here smoking cigars together.
That's right.
And I can't do nothing about the planes, guys. I'm sorry. We're in an area of Fort Worth that, if it wasn't for interstates, would be right next to DFW Airport. And by airspeed, it's right there, even though it's not right there. So,
Yeah, I believe that's Meacham Airport.
yeah, I forget the name of the other one that's over here.
The only reason why I know it is because we do assembly over there from Lockheed.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. First note's definitely got a bold hit. I appreciate that they said spices versus pepper, because I'm not getting that bitter pepper on the first hit.
Yeah, it's definitely spice, no pepper. Surprisingly smooth for such a dark cigar.
It is. Hoping that's gonna stay true. Now I will say this is one I've had, but I haven't had it in a while. So these particular two have been in my humidor for, I want to say, about a year and a half.
Sounds about right. You like to store things for a while.
I do like to store things for a while.
I'm learning. I actually gave you a few cigars that were over a year old.
I know. I was surprised by that. You know, we love trades in this group. Most of the time we do them by mail. We did one in person. It's fantastic. Don't get to do that very often. So.
It's a lot better, too, because you get to see the person's face. You
do.
Tell that they really appreciate it. Or you can be like, I've actually smoked that before.
Right.
But either way, here you go.
Exactly. First hit, obviously got some smooth darkness. I'm not getting anything else yet. We'll give it a minute. Of course, we just lit these babies up. So we're going to talk about why we're here. I initially met this gentleman as we created this group. He's one of the first few A1 Day 1 that came over from a couple other groups that I was in. A few of us got together and ended up making this group. I met him in person exactly 1 year ago, almost to the date, at the event that is being held behind us here in about 2 hours. In short, we call it Cigar Fest, but it's the Wine and Cigar Festival.
Yep.
Enthusiast Report puts it on. Comes to CI here. So we figured since we're both free again this year to come, why not better get together, meet in person again, and bring him on the show, because he's only about 4 hours from me geographically, but we haven't been able to pull that off yet. So
we've been trying.
Yeah,
it's not for a lack of trying.
And now that me and Chad have started to work out the wrinkles on the remote thing, Mike can pull that off too. So that is a fresh thing. I think we've only done 2 of them so far.
Yeah, I talked to Chad about it. So said that you guys were going to try to do a regular thing about it.
Yeah, we did it 2 different times. We did it the first time Google Meet. The second time we used StreamYard. Thanks to Kevin from Cigar Props / Trash Panda gave me that tip. Worked great. So I think we're going to end up rolling that way. So
yeah, it looked great. It looked good.
A little bit of extra stuff I got to do on the fly, but hey, I don't care. It looks fine.
It's kind of what we're doing right now.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Because we're in a parking lot. You can't tell that from the obvious. We got here early enough that there's no cars around, so we can do this and let you see the building behind us, but still in a parking lot set up behind the truck. So hey,
we're doing what we can.
We're doing what we can. And we're still here smoking cigars, and that's really what matters.
I definitely get that sweet cream and that woodsy from it already.
I've got the wood. Don't quite have the cream yet. The sweet notes always take me a little bit longer to everybody I've smoked with that can taste, whether it be some floral note or some, brighter baking spice or something sweeter. It always takes me a little bit longer. My palate's just a little slower on those, I suppose. But events like this is a good one. It floats different places, but it's not a massive event, but it is a good one. There's, I think, I didn't see the exact number because I saw the email before they added a couple vendors, so I'm not sure exactly what the final count was, but there's somewhere between 30 and 40 vendors. Like 32 of them are cigar specific. And then you've got, little wine, some rum. There's always some oddball thrown in there, like, Rabbit Air, or last year there was, if I pronounce this right, it was Kamiki, which is a Japanese whiskey.
That was good.
That was good.
That was good.
There was a couple other alcohols. There was some gins and some scotches. I remember that one because it stuck out to me as a Japanese whiskey. It just, you think Japanese, you kind of think sake or something else, but it was good.
Yeah.
So I'm secretly hoping they're back again this year. That'd be great.
That would be good.
That would be good. I won't be mad about it. Of course I want free samples. That's the point.
Technically, they're not free because they came with a ticket.
They're discounted samples.
Discounted.
And, so we figured we'd kind of talk a little bit about cigar events, and depending on how it goes, we won't know till we're in here if we're able to snap some pictures or videos. If we are, I'll throw them in the video. If we can't, we'll post about it when I post the video. So you never really know that until we get in here and see how the layout is, how packed it is, sort of stuff like that. So
I told myself this time around I was going to take more pictures and videos. It was like, you go through your phone, and I'm like, last time I only had 2 pictures. It was the one when we walked in.
when we walked in,
I think it was like a few whiskeys that I liked or whatever it was. And I was like, that's all I took.
I mean, I did the same thing because we had that one. I think I took a couple of the ones I was smoking because, I put them on box press, but other than the samples that I liked, I think I did the same thing.
I think that's what we call living in the moment.
It is. So we do have our little portable stinky ashtray, so we're not ashing the parking lot. Not that it's a big deal being outside, but
outside next to a
cigar lounge.
I'm sure there's all kinds of stuff in the parking lot.
Oh, I'm sure there is. But hey, we're gonna try to be proper. And I don't know if he watches these yet. We've talked about it, but a completely unrelated shout out to any other taser instructors out there like myself. Axon shirt. Reason I wore this one today is me and Ellen did some diving at the Scuba Ranch in Terrell, Texas. Great little training lake. He just also happens to be an instructor there. I didn't get to see him today, but did not actually pack this on that purpose. I just threw in a few shirts. I like the Axon shirts and realized I had it on today. I was like, well, screw it. So David, if you see it, what's up? Thank you. Have a good day. I did text him earlier though.
Oh, okay. But speaking of shirts, I'm wearing the Adventura cigar shirt that Chad gave me, so shout out to Chad for this shirt.
Hell yeah.
On our last cigar trade. I like it a lot.
I got one he sent me that I'm going to wear on purpose the next time, because since he's an Aventura guy in our group, he loves them.
Yep.
We're, second to Mr. Fuente. Fuente freak. We got a couple Aventura episodes we're going to do with me and him because that's kind of his vibe. And I'm going to wear one of those shirts there. So
yeah, he gave me the entire line on our last trade. Just lined them all up in a nice little box. I couldn't believe it. Yeah. He always goes above and beyond. He does. He's a great guy.
And, he's a good example. And sorry, Chad, we're blowing you up for a minute, homie. He'll hate me for it later. Don't care. You're awesome. That's kind of what cigar community is about. And I'm glad, it's kind of why... when I needed somebody else in the group, I made him moderator because he exemplifies what we wanted to build. And that's the point, not asking, everybody to throw freebies to everybody. It's just that give and take, the love, the excitement you get hanging out with other people. And when you can't be with them, you trade cigars. It's a little bit of love. Like, hey man, this is something I like. I think you'd enjoy it. He's a real genuine guy, and that's the kind of people you want as a moderator. You don't want anybody biased or with a temper or anything like that. Screw this guy, bang. Right, cause drama in the group, and then you got nobody in your group. You're like, where did all the people go? Exactly. So, yeah, good choice. And, I listen, when we started building it, we, have people send messages to the group that says, hey, man, I'm glad y'all do this or don't do this, or what about this? And we try to, within Facebook standards, try to mold it into that, because, we don't call everybody, subscribers, your family members. It's a Hollow Down family. That's what we do. Hollow Down fam. So, you've joined a group in Facebook, and if you're watching this, you subscribed as a YouTube subscriber, but your family. That's, even if I've never met you, we like getting feedback. I've got email and this, and we've even responded to people. I've mentioned people that have responded to stuff in the podcast, so you're part of it. Yeah. And that's kind of the whole vibe, and kind of piggybacks by accident into the event syndrome. For sure. And we have a lot of conversations online and on the phone and all that kinds of stuff. And we technically only met in person 3 times, and that was each time is at an event, and that's kind of what we were talking about. The first time we met was here at Cigars International for what we call Cigar Fest. Right. The second time was at NFG at Underground Cigar Lounge in Fort Worth, and then the third time is this event here again. So, and I haven't looked at it on the calendar yet to see if we'll make NFG, because I got to look and see. Yeah, they just posted it yesterday, March 8th. March 8th, okay. I hadn't seen the date yet, so. Yeah, March 8th at 12 p.m. All depends on work schedules, of course. Like I was really happy when this one came out, and as soon as the pre-sale went out, I was like, yes. Yeah, I already told the wife. I said, hey, they just posted the dates for NFG, so mark that on your calendar. Yep. I need to go. I'm hoping that by then the baby will be good enough that we can go back again to both of us, because heck yeah. I hate that she gets to miss out on it. She gets to miss out this time because couldn't find a babysitter. Babysitter canceled on us last minute, so she's not here. She's not on the side of the truck with Grace over there gabbing it up. And I did actually get to meet her. won't say her full name's without permission. She's in the group though, so got to meet her at NFG. Baby hadn't come quite yet.
Yeah, not quite yet during the meet, but now he's here. Little butterball.
Little butterball. Ellen loves that. You can't see her reaction that just happened, but that was great. Okay, there's the cream.
You got it.
About 2 puffs ago.
I think I'm smoking a little faster than you, but I tend to. So that's probably maybe why.
Maybe. The shows that I used to do with Derek before he moved, every single cigar he smoked faster. And the first few times I smoked with him, I thought it was maybe because he was smoking too fast and he was going to get that TP, you know. He never did, except for one that was bad construction. That wasn't his fault. He just has a faster, stronger draw. I'm more of a medium, smaller draw.
That's kind of how I am. I usually don't get the TP. As you can see, it's flat, good ash. But I just tend to take...
Everybody loves a good ash.
Yeah.
Everybody.
A nice big ash.
Nice big ash. Shout out to Matt, who got to sneak on a couple times that we have not been able to coordinate back with. He's got a couple clips that have big ash, and while he's talking about his ash, he loses his ash, so it's great.
If you're not ashing on yourself, you're doing something wrong.
Right. Do what? Yeah, he moved to days. I'm a night shifter, so I'm awake while he's asleep. We were both nights. It made it real convenient. It's no longer convenient.
I did night shift at Lockheed for 7 years, and I'm glad I'm on days now. Of course, I was single when I was on night shift for 7 years, and then as soon as I went day shift, met my girlfriend at the time, then she became my wife, then we had 3 kids. Time moves fast. So,
well, I've been a night shifter for the majority of the time since 2009-ish.
Okay, it's quite a while.
There was a 2.5 year period that I wasn't, and it was the roughest 2.5 years of my life because I'm definitely a night shift king.
Some people can do it.
We have to flip our schedule. She's a night shifter too, so it works out great. That's actually how we met because we were on the same schedules. But we have to basically force flip our lives and rotations to do weekends and vacations and stuff like this. So.
But you guys go on a lot, I see. That's nice. You guys enjoy yourselves.
We try.
Work hard, play hard.
And the good thing about our schedules is every other weekend we have a long weekend off. So it doesn't always mean we do something, but it gives us the freedom to.
Yeah.
So
you got to take breaks, and then you got to enjoy yourself at the same time.
She would rather just sleep. She reminded me this weekend before we left the house that she made the mistake of marrying a golden retriever. Because I like to go and do.
Where we going?
She does to a degree, but not near as much as I do. So
that's kind of like me. I like to do stuff all the time. My wife, she likes to chill.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a good, what do they call it, yin and yang type thing, you know, keep each other balanced.
I noticed, like I said, I've only got one time meeting her, but I noticed she kind of had this just chill, smooth, quiet personality, and me and you were bubbly talking the shit out of each other, so I figured, you know. Well,
we got lucky, too, because she was like, I'm just going to go find us a spot, and we found a good spot underneath the shade. It was nice. And then, shout out to Eldon. He's in the group. We talked about doing a cigar trade, and we were like, okay, let's bring a few. This guy was just literally throwing cigars at us. Just like, oh, here you go. Have you had this? Nope, here you go.
Here you go. That was the first time I'd met him, so I didn't have cigars for trade. Honestly, me and him did a trade. I left him at the house, so he gave me his cigars. I had to mail them to him later. So I didn't have anything with me other than the same ones we were getting at the event, which there's no point trading because he's also getting.
Yeah.
So I felt bad, and he was just like, shut up and take them.
Yeah.
So,
and dude, he bought like a stack of boxes at the event, too. It was him and his wife.
About halfway, he disappears and comes back with this just rack of stuff.
Yes.
Jesus, man.
And his wife is awesome as well. I brought like a whole, basically, bar in a cooler, and I was making her old fashions. She was like, I love you.
Yep.
We had a good time.
But hey, it's cool because you get to meet people. We get to meet cigars at the same time. So, and once we finish recording, you know what we're going to do? We're going to pack this stuff up, go sit in the AC, not 97-degree sun.
Woo!
And we're going to go smoke some more.
Yeah,
and then the cigar event's going to happen. We're going to go get some cigars, and guess what? Then we're going to smoke some more, talk, hang out, and vibe, man. That's kind of the thing.
I brought a few fancy sticks with me. Every time I go to an event, I'm like, man, I should bring something nice to smoke so I have something memorable, to remember the cigar. So I brought Opus X Lost City. And then
Chad would be proud.
Yeah, that's actually, I got it from Chad. So we're going to shout you out this whole episode, I guess.
That's fair.
And then one of the other ones is from Drew Estate. It's one of the, I think it's a Velvet Rat, but it's it's the Diplomat edition or whatever. It's got super yellow cello, so it's one of those older ones. Yeah.
And that's the only thing. Like, if there's a really good cigar here that I'm like craving, sometimes I'll bite and smoke an event cigar at the event. But I try not to.
Yeah, you like to savor the flavor.
I try to bring stuff to smoke and savor the flavor, you know. Of course, unless, like last year, we got 2 of the LFDs. Yeah, I'm going to smoke one.
Yep.
You know, stuff like that. But I still have stuff on my humidor that's from this event last year that I just haven't quite got to. They're getting close.
I was going to smoke a cigar this morning, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to save my palate. I was actually going to smoke one that I got from the event. It was the, what is it, Solomon?
The Hiraman Solomon?
Yeah.
The Shriner cigar?
The Connecticut one. I was going to smoke that this morning as a morning cigar with some coffee, but I was like, you know what? I want to save my palate for this Partagas, or Partagas, or however they want to say it.
I say Partagas. I don't know.
That's what I say.
Feel free to correct us, homies, if you know the more proper.
Yeah.
I've heard both.
So I saved my palate for this, and that's why, I guess that's maybe
Could
why
be
I can pick
Partagas.
up.
I don't know.
Maybe that's why I'm picking up the flavors a little bit faster. I don't know. Did you smoke one this morning?
I did. Actually, I smoked one on the way to meet you. So.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Because we were driving over from Terrell, so I had an hour and 20-minute drive. Now, I didn't smoke a crazy when it was a pin standard, because I wanted something that was medium but wasn't going to kick me in the face, so I was
sort of
still
around
fresh
the same flavor too.
Yep.
Yeah. Was that Pennsylvania broadleaf?
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's actually pin standard is because it is Pennsylvania. It's a very simple, budget-friendly stick, but they're good.
Yeah. No, I like them.
There's nothing crazy about them.
Usually get them in those Cigar Page bundles.
I think every single one I've got from Cigar Page, or the last time I actually went specifically to get pin standard from Cigar Page. They're good budget sticks. I know you have the term yard guard.
Mm-hmm.
I am not one that I usually don't smoke a cigar while I'm doing yard work, but it's that same type of budget friendly. It smokes good, it tastes good, but it's cheap enough. If you screw up, drop it, get it dirty, break it by accident, you're not going to cry.
It's easy to have a cigar yard or yard cigar, whatever you want to call it, if you have like a riding lawnmower. I don't have one of those. I got a push mower.
Same.
So I usually...
My yard's not big enough anymore to need one.
Mine isn't either. I usually weed eat without the cigar, and then once I do the push mower, then I light one up.
Yeah.
And it's usually whatever I'm feeling. I always have the attitude, if you buy premium cigars at budget prices, every single one of them can be a yard cigar. So that's how I
That's
do it.
me. I don't consider yard cigar as the knockoff brand. To me, it's what I paid for, because that's the point. You don't want to accidentally damage or lose or burn out a cigar and throw money down the drain.
Right. And I don't, I'm not a snob. I'll smoke the bundles. I'll smoke the Cuban sandwiches. And then, like today, I'm going to smoke the Opus X Lost City. So, just a toss-up between all of them.
Shoot, you might have commented, a couple people did, but the cigar I smoked the other day that I posted on the group, that was the Padilla La Terraza, Connecticut.
Yeah.
That's like $2.10.
Oh.
And I bought a box, so that wasn't even like a bundled sampler. That was box price. It's like $50 for the box.
If you enjoy it, what does it matter the price?
Right. And there's not many Connecticut's that I do like. As you know, I kind of lean more towards the darker Maduro. There are some Connecticut's I like. That one is not a crazy cigar. It's veiny. It's a little spongy. But it smokes good.
Yeah.
Stop it.
I was going to say, that's what she said, but I was like, try to keep it professional, people.
Try. I learned after, I think, episode 3 or 4 to check the box not made for kids when I upload, because we tried so hard to be professional, it didn't last long.
You never know what's going to come out of people's mouths.
Never know.
Or
actually,
people snickering in the corner.
People snickering. Or, the couple times I've gotten to go up and have a smoke with Woot, all bets are off. All bets are off.
Yeah, a few of the podcasts you have posted with your buddies down in the state you live in, I don't know if you want to...
Oh, it's Louisiana. They know.
Louisiana.
Yeah, I've said it.
Those guys crack me up. You're always cutting it up and shooting the shit with them, and it's a good time.
Yeah, I don't mind. Since you haven't been on the show, I don't mind saying, like, regional graphics, the type of work we do, we just try to stay away from specifics,
Yeah.
The only difference is Shannon, because he didn't give a damn we were joking about him blasting his construction business, and he said it, and then he's like, "Can you cut that out?" Ah, screw it, they can have it. It's like, whatever. But we've talked about some of the buddies that are respiratory therapists, or I've got one that's a surgeon. He's talked about it. He doesn't talk about specifics, doesn't say where he's at. If you know me personally, cool, you know. But if you don't, that way we're not airing personal info on accidents.
No, I totally get it. But I don't ever tell anybody what I do at Lockheed Martin. I just say I work at Lockheed Martin. I'll let you decide what I do.
Which is cool enough for me, because in the Marines, I worked in the airfield, so I don't care what you do, I'm down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I never worked with any of the Lockheed stuff. Everything I dealt with was either Boeing or Bell products, but it's still airfield.
Right.
Doesn't matter to me. I don't care what you do. You could be a freaking payroll clerk, and I wouldn't care because it's airfield related. You know what I mean? It's kind of a...
Every person there counts, because you're going towards a common goal, which is, protecting our country, protecting other countries.
Right.
All that.
And as a Marine vet, police officer, and a former aircraft mechanic, it all kind of bundles up for me.
Yeah.
It all matters. It's just one of those things, like, I really don't care what you do. Just no fucks given. I'm going to appreciate it. Which, ironically, no pun intended, is what NFG stands for with Underground Cigars.
Yep, that's right.
I guess I vibe with that too.
So now towards, I think, I want to call that the second, third.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I'm getting chocolate. Not like, not milk chocolate, not cacao, not cocoa powder. More like a slight dark chocolate. Very slight though.
Very
not
slight.
Not strong at all, just very light.
I caught up with you a little bit. I had a small air pocket, so I had a little section that burned quicker.
Yeah, I've had to relight mine a couple of
handmade
times.
products.
Yep.
We are getting a little bit of a draft outside too, so
I'm getting a little peelage, but it's a thin wrapper, but that's all right.
it is.
I'm still smoking nonetheless.
So I'm not gonna hit this cigar for burning fast or burning uneven. We're not getting a lot of wind, but it is just enough of a cross draw. I want to say in this direction, but it's kind of swirled, so we're getting a little bit of
If you look at
effect.
that, that's how the wind's blowing. It's kind of angled that way. So I've been trying to touch it up here and there, but
So
the wind's picked up since we started, which is nice because it's hot as balls right now.
Jesus Christ. So normally, when I'm inside the shop or whatever, when y'all see the backdrop, if something burns a little funny, yeah, I'm going to hit the cigar. We're not hitting the cigar on this one. This may just be wind related.
Yeah.
Because it's still, the draw is very adequate, tight but not too tight, kind of smooth. Even with it burning quick, it's more or less even.
No, yeah.
It's just burning fast.
I like it. It's a good overall cigar. I would smoke it again for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now there is another model of the Cifuentes. This is the Maduro, so
Cifuentes.
a little bit darker.
I like the name too.
I do too. Rolls off the tongue. And if our pronunciation is correct, Partagas Cifuentes.
Yeah.
I just like it, man.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
Brain fart. There was something I was about to ask you, and it just went boom, because I started rolling with the name.
It's all good. It's
It
happening.
doesn't come back. Sorry, guys. I don't know. But yeah, this is a good vibe. I think it's cool that we did this at the cigar event. And I know other than cigar events, we're not talking about anything specific. That's perfectly okay. He asked me if we had anything to talk about, and I was like, bro, we're just going to talk about what we're here for, where we're meeting, how we met, and vibe together, because it's the first time we're doing a show together.
Yeah, I dig it.
And there's some shows where we come on with a topic and we talk about them. There's some cigar shows that we come on and we don't have a damn clue what we're talking about, and some of them have been the funniest ones. If I could ever get you to meet Brett in person, he doesn't look like he's a jokester. He has this dry but like super quick, witty humor that I don't have. And that's why they get to make fun of me so much on the show. Man.
I'm usually one of the first people to like the videos because I have your podcast set up on my notifications. So I'll go in there and like it, watch it. I'll be working, laughing with you guys. It's a good time.
Speaking of the podcast, since this will air in time, if you're not a member of the Facebook page, one, go find it. It is literally Hollowed Down Cigar Lounge on Facebook. Has the cow, the angry cow smoking logo, same thing. We're doing a giveaway right now. Now, if you're in the page already, this applies to you. So it is a family member boost event. There are 10 Connecticut's. They're all different, packaged as a giveaway. 3 ways you can get in it. 1, if you're already a member of the Facebook group, go invite a friend, have them join the group. Comment that I've got that post featured at the top, so you can find it under featured. Comment, tell me what their name is. If you don't want to comment, you can send me a message. That's fine too. 2, invite a friend to join and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Again, send me their name. Or if you're in the group, because there are some of you that are already a member of the Facebook group that haven't joined the YouTube channel, go join. Let me know you did. All 3 of those get you an entry. And it doesn't mean you're limited to 3. You could have 20 entries for every friend that you invite. The deadline is October 20th, so you still got a couple weeks. Once that is done, the next show me and Chad do, we're going to put all those names in a spinner wheel, and it's going to be live like we did the CFW event. We're going to let you see the screen. We're going to do it live, and you're going to get those 10.
That last event was awesome. Y'all had a good turnout.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
And we do it twice a year. We're referencing the Cigars for Warriors event that these guys also sponsor as well. So this isn't a CFW episode, so if you don't know about them, cigarsforwarriors.org. If I remember, I'll splash the link right here. But we do a drive twice a year for them. I collect as many cigars as you want to send. If you don't feel like shipping them or you're not a cigar smoker in general, you can send funds. We talk about how to do that, and at the end of the drive, we package them up. And we went from, I think, the first time we did it was like 20 cigars, then it was 80, then 100, and then we went to over 400.
That was awesome.
So,
and Eldon was
dude,
huge.
Eldon, he was
doing the same thing at the event. He was basically throwing cigars at you guys.
He got a couple boxes, smoked one, and then sent me the rest of the box. That's what he did. He's like, I want the cigar, but instead of buying the cigar, he bought a box, smoked his one, and then sent me the rest of the cigars.
I don't know if he's ever sent you a picture of his collection. It's literally just stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks of Tupperware
I wouldn't
doors.
doubt it.
Yeah, they're
Tupperware doors, yeah.
But him and his wife smoke, so he's got enough for 2 people. So he's got quite a lot.
I'd smoke some Southern Draws, but I know they love Southern Draws, so if he introduced me to some Southern Draw blends that I hadn't had before.
Yeah.
And so far, there hasn't been one that's bad. There was one, I think I get the names mixed up. It's either the Morning Glory or the is it Primrose or Evening Primrose that were a little lighter than I prefer, but they were still good.
Yeah.
So it's a good line, too.
He gave me 2 that I've been saving. It's On the Fly. It's got like a Texas symbol and a fish.
Yeah.
I'm going first weekend of November up to Oklahoma trout fishing. And I'm literally going to spark the Maduro up in the morning and then spark up the Connecticut in the morning and then the Maduro later on.
The On the Fly is Ignite Warriors On the Fly. It is another veterans organization.
Yeah.
That sells them. Is it on Cigar Page maybe?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Because I have bought more since he gave them to me, and I forget which site they're on. If it's not Cigar Page, it's one of the other ones that we use that you can actually go buy the 5-pack that has the. I think it's 2 Connecticut, 3 Maduros. I think
if you find out, let me know, because I definitely want to get some. Because I fish all the time, and I'm like, perfect cigar to smoke and fish.
As soon as we stop recording, I will show you, because I can pull it up and check my tracker, because I can show you where I got it from. But yeah, so that's another organization that money goes to the vets and everything. So, but Partagas is a good brand, since we are hitting Partagas, Partagas, or whatever we want to call it. My favorite one from them probably is the black. Have you had the black?
Yeah, great cigar.
That is a great cigar. That is dark. That is bold. I got a couple left. That's a really good one. This isn't far behind it. This is not that deep, dark, and bold, but it is still bold in a way.
I say it's a well-balanced Maduro.
It is.
Yeah.
They give it a 4.5 out of 5 on the strength scale. I don't know if I'd quite put it there. I think it's more a 3.5 or a 4, because it's deep, bold, but it doesn't have that super intense bite.
I'll agree with that. Yeah, it's not. I don't want to call it bitter. Sometimes those can be bitter, but in a good way. They always say, like, cigar smokers, we like weird names like an old leathery shoe. And they're like, oh, that sounds good. And you're like, why does that sound good? But
I have no idea.
It's
and then you smoke it and you're like, that's kind of chewy. Got it.
Yeah, exactly. I never understood that until I actually got a chewy cigar. I was like, oh, that's what they mean.
Or you can create one like I did and call it leather toast. I got made fun of that for like 3 shows because I was reading.
I remember that. I remember that episode. I was like, leather toast.
It was,
I was like,
leather
I've never heard that one before.
toast and I think earth or something. And I blitzed through that comment and said leather toast and earth. They did not let me live that down. But this one acts like it wants to be chewy, but it doesn't. Like you hit it, I get it on the back of that palate and it just dissipates.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, that's what I'm getting to. The cream has come off. I'm still getting woods and spice.
Yep. I'm getting that espresso more than chocolate now. As it's gotten farther, we got the chocolate, and then to me, the chocolate disappeared, and it is just straight dark coffee espresso.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm getting to. Yep.
So, I told you before the show, I like reading. As long as Cigars International has, which they have a huge inventory, most of the time the cigars, even if they're discontinued, will still be on the site, so we can read what the professional intent is. There's been times that we've smoked a cigar that wasn't, and I've had to pull from somewhere else. But I like doing that, because as I've said before, if you want the full-blown novel, you know, you got Half Wheel and you've got Catman and some others that are giving you a novel of details. We don't want to do that because it's already there. We like not being paid to do these reviews. This is what the guys say it should taste. On the homeboy circuit, do we agree or not?
I think the paid reviews are really biased. You know what I mean? Like when it's just homeboys kicking it, smoking a cigar, you get your own personal
honesty.
review. It's honesty, exactly.
And if you know what I'm leading to next, great. I do not like to defame anybody, but there is a very high, well-known cigar blender that most of you know that absolutely refuses to have his cigars rated by a particular massive rating company because there is a paid system involved.
Yep.
And he doesn't want to, even by accident, get rated on that bias. So he just backs out completely.
That's smart.
So, and I get it. And like in this case, it seems like both of us are agreeing 100% on CI's review.
Yep.
It's not their review, that's manufacturer details. Sometimes we don't. What was it? New Year's last year, the year before was, and I've mentioned this before, what was it? And I kind of even brain dumped this one.
It's the heat.
No, I kind of brain dumped the cigar on purpose because it was disgusting.
Oh.
Oh man. Anyway, it may come to me, may not, but it was one of our New Year's shows a couple years ago, and it tasted like dirt, not earth, not earthiness.
Just straight
dirt. It was one I did with Woot, and every time I tried to like suave into saying how it sucked without saying it sucked, it's like I'd say, man, it kind of tastes like him, like a grave. I mean, it was just so. Huh?
There's some free advertisement for you.
Hey. Woo! Barbecue's in town, baby.
Food's here.
Food's here. Means we're getting close. I love it. So, that just excites me a little bit.
The food?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that means we're getting close to event time.
That's right.
So, but yeah, so I like the fact that we do this. And I know we reference this sometimes, but that's what we do. I want y'all to understand, and this may be the first one you're seeing, so that way you know. We're not paid reviewers. And if we ever get one that's paid, I will tell you. None of them we've done so far have been the case. So, I've even talked to some other cigar blenders and cigar owners that have said they might send us stuff for a giveaway, that I might review theirs, but there's still no intent in those conversations. I've specifically said, I'm not to the point, nor do I have a desire for you to pay me for the review. If you want to send me stuff, we'll review it and give you your honest opinion, and then I'll use that as a giveaway to somebody.
Honest,
I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Because I'm not making money, so I don't want y'all to ever think that there is some sleight of hand. Even the deal that we had with Dissident, there was absolutely no payment involved in that. it's just what we want to do. I want to be more honest about it. I want to be chill and
I
homely
think
about
people
it.
appreciate those reviews a little bit better because they know you're not being paid. You know, you're not biased. You get, like we've been saying, like a down to earth or hollow down, honest review.
Absolutely. Nick, if you can figure out how to get your bands to come off like this, I'll love you, brother. If you don't know who I'm talking about, ask me off the show. You know what I'm talking about.
I'm very surprised mine actually came off pretty good after you could see the wrapper starting to come off on the... But that's because I cut a little bit too much off the top.
I wasn't going to call you out like that.
Well, I called myself out. Another honest review.
Yeah. There are some things involved, what type of cut, and this can be a whole show in itself. Maybe we'll do sometime on cuts. You got V cuts, straight cuts, punch cuts, crown cuts, cross cuts. You have what you like, but there's also some variance in how the cap is built, what you can do. If you get one that's got, a lot of budget, more cigars will just have that single cap. V cut will shred the cap off.
Big time.
And I love a V cut. A personal preference. But there's a lot I gotta do a straight cut or punch, because first thing you gotta do is look at the cap and think, well, I can't do that.
For the sticks that I really want to get the flavor notes off, I take after Steve Sock, which he says to straight cut everything. Better flow, you get better flavor profiles. Box press cigars, I generally V cut on, what is that, horizontally?
Yep, on the long side.
Yeah, on the long side. And then anything more than a 54 gauge, which is what this is, anything more than that, I punch cut.
Yeah.
Just because I don't like to put my mouth all the way around it and I'm just getting too much smoke. This way, and when Grace is grinning at me.
I don't know if I believe that, but we'll roll with it.
Either way, I don't like to put my mouth all the way around and just get all this smoke. Instead, I like a punch cut where it's just
he
nice.
likes the smoke, guys. He likes the smoke.
Apparently
One might even
I'm
say
getting it right now.
He loves the smoke.
But yeah, it just seems to be better on the bigger gauge cigars with a punch cut.
And some of them I'll still, if I can get it. And my V cutter I have now goes up to a 60 ring. So if the Gordos are 60, so it literally depends on the shape of the cap if it'll fit in there or not. If it'll fit in there, I'll usually still do a V cut. If it even acts like it's not going to, then I'll usually punch it.
Yeah, because then it's just too shallow.
Yep. Yeah. And you can kind of modify that with a cross cut or a crown cut. But if you're going to that point, you might as well just do, either a big punch, or if you have a small punch, do 2 small punches. Whatever you got to do, but it kind of helps the cap a little bit.
I've only crown cut once, and that was because the V cut just didn't do it right.
Right.
And I'm gonna say I did enjoy it.
I will cross cut before I go all the way to a crown cut. And the only difference, if your terminology, V cut straight, cross cut is this. If you want crown, you can kind of do here, and then another one here. Looks like a crown from the top if you're able to cut it right. If you don't know that, you learn something. But yeah, the cap does play a part. There is some preference. The straight cut does give you the cleanest airflow and flavor, but there's preferences and there's different conversations on airflow. Some people have done some testing on the V cut where if you get it dead center straight and a good cut, the airflow kind of does this and can kind of bring the flavors out. It's all personal preference, really. As long as you don't overcut your cigar.
It happens.
It happens. I've done it. We've all done it.
Yeah.
But
not the first time, won't be the last.
no, definitely not the first, definitely not the last.
But as you can see, when you cut it too much, it tends to unravel on you. So, but I'm holding it together.
Yep.
Trying to keep it together and hold it together.
And if you have one that ravels, whether it's your fault or not, if you've got cigar glue, which is literally like a liquid pectin, you can dab it into there. If you don't, what I do when I'm traveling, so I don't have to worry about liquid, unflavored chapstick.
Yep.
Just a dab that petroleum, and you'll feel it, but it won't affect the taste. Unless you want a homemade Java mint, go get some mint chapstick. But unflavored chapstick works great.
It does. I find when you put it on there, it's nice. It works just like pectin. Then once it warms up, it gets a little liquid, but once the liquid goes away, it like seals it.
Yeah, it
works really well.
Works great.
Yeah, I always keep one in the truck.
I was smoking for probably 8-9 years before I learned that trick, and I felt like an idiot.
I learned that trick from you. And this is only my second year in the cigar smoke.
Yeah, you got lucky.
Yeah.
Like I did the whole thing where I would get a number way before I needed one to poke in the hole and hold it together, and that was, it doesn't work. It keeps it from unraveling, but you still have the air hole. So, little tips and tricks of the trade are very nice.
That's something
food's getting closer.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's something we can talk about as far as palate and picking up flavor notes. A lot of people say you got to smoke for years and years and years until you get it. Like I said,
maybe not.
My first year, matter of fact, the first time we met, I was talking to you about cigars, and you asked me, you're like, how long have you been smoking? I'm like, this is my first year back when we were talking.
And I asked him because you were giving notes that took me 5 or 6 years to pull out, and you were less than a year out, and you were starting to pick up some of these things.
Yeah.
And that kind of goes into the homeboy review. I'm actually surprised because it doesn't always happen where both people on the show completely agree.
Right.
This is one of those rare cases. And sometimes we have in the past, sometimes we haven't.
And we generally like the same darker cigars.
So maybe that case.
Yeah.
But
I will smoke a Connecticut, and when I want something spicy, I'll go for a Habano. But most of the time it's dark Maduro.
What do you think about Candelas? I'm on the fence.
So I've only smoked one, and I can't give you a good review because it was the Swamp Thing, the Kentucky Fried Cured Candela.
That's its own
category. I liked it, but it's just its own category. Kentucky Fire Cured Candela on top of that. Very weird smoke flavor, but I still liked it.
The Kentucky Fire Cured literally tastes like you're eating the smoked hickory off of a barbecue grill.
Like Lay's hickory barbecue chips.
Yeah.
Is how I describe it.
It's interesting. There's one from Jake Wyatt that I haven't smoked yet I'm interested in. Louisiana's got one that's decent. I'm not a big fan of Candelas because it's kind of hit or miss if it's too much spice or it's got a weird spice. Some people love them.
Yeah, if you like Scotch, people usually like Candelas because it has that like the peaty
And that's
note.
what's crazy. I'm a Scotch guy.
That is true.
That is my number one.
Matter of fact, the last time we were here, there was a Scotch that you were like raving about. And I'm not a big Scotch person, but that Scotch was damn good. I forget the name of it, but
I'd have to go back in my pictures because I forget. So, palate differences, man. You could thoroughly enjoy one that I think's discussing and back and forth. So, which is why I don't do cigar reviews alone. If I do a show by myself, it's an EDC cigar and I'm talking about a topic, and I don't talk about this because I want the kickback. Because you may completely disagree with something that I pull out, and you may completely disagree with something I pull out.
It's good to have 2 people or 3 people so you can get the other different flavors, because there's certain nuances in cigars that you may pick up and I may not, or vice versa.
Right. So, final notes, because we're getting close to our timeline here.
It's time.
It's about time to go inside. The chocolate that we tasted, which wasn't in the notes, that's something we both pulled out. I guess that's probably why it wasn't, because it comes in, for me it disappeared.
Yeah, it came with like five puffs and then it went away.
Yeah, it was there.
Probably less.
Maybe less. The espresso kind of dipped and came back, which I know chocolate and coffee kind of segue together. Sometimes they could be mistaken one for the other, especially if it's more of a dark chocolate towards espresso, which is exactly how you referenced it.
Yeah.
And this does have some espresso hit, so it could be some of those notes pulling together. That's pulled, the woodiness once it hit has stayed.
Yeah, I was just going to say, now that we're into the final third, it's all wood for me.
The cream is gone.
Yep.
Oh, I love my wife. I'm going to leave it at that. Her expressions over here. We tried to get her on camera. She is not a camera person, so she likes to sit off to the side and make fun of me or entertain herself or listen to the unfiltered bullshit we say. So she definitely fits in. That's fair.
We're entertaining enough. She doesn't have to be on her phone.
That is fair.
She's just watching and making fun of us.
She's good at that. But see, you may not be on camera, but you still get talked about. But yeah, so we'll wrap this up. Overall, good notes of cigar. Only thing I disagree with is the 4.5. It's more, I said 3.5. The last third, it does kind of get closer back to the medium or medium plus.
Yeah, mine is picked up.
I'd say probably back to a 4. I don't know if I'd go all the way to 4.5. But
no, I'd say an even 4.
It's right there for us. So, still a great cigar. The notes have proven almost exactly what was intended, which is a pleasant surprise. You get what you think you're going to get.
I think this final third, the Ligero finally kicked in, and it's got some kick to it at the final end.
Yeah, it does. It's still not harsh or bitter, but it's a little bit bolder, I'd say.
It's bolder for having Dominican fillers, because usually Dominican fillers are just kind of, they're either right in the middle or they taper down.
Right. They're more flavor smooth than they are.
Yeah, exactly. The strength's picked up for sure.
Well, that's our show for today. Thank you for coming out.
Absolutely.
I guess that's inappropriate to say because he was going to come out here regardless. So thanks for meeting me while coming out.
It's going to be a good time once we get in there.
So we're going to finish this up and we're going to head inside. And like I said, if we were able to get any clips, pitches in there, you would have seen them. If not, we'll talk about it in the group. So like, subscribe to the group. If you haven't subscribed to the channel and you just saw this randomly, subscribe. You'll get the notes of anything referenced in the future. I also use the channel for some personal adventures like scuba diving, so you may get a random intervention in there somewhere.
I've seen those as well.
I got some other things from a recent cruise I need to get my button gear and put together. So she's over there nodding like, yeah, hurry up. Because I got the pictures, but I still need to go do a couple highlight reels. So, but you'll get to see that. Welcome to the family. That's pretty much the gist of it.
All right. It was a good time.
It was a good time. So, as always, thank you guys for coming out. We'll see you next time. And as I always say, and you know the drill, stay safe and hollow down. Be careful, the last. All right, ready? Yep. Awkward stick. Awkward.